let's let a couple of good deep breaths flow. Good deep inhales. Really try to fill up the lungs as much as possible. Long, relaxing exhales. Let's take our hands up and for just a moment, rub softly onto your palms. So just each hand is rubbing. This is a chance just to feel our nerves. Feel our sense of touch a little bit. And then once we've had a moment to be really tuned into that nervous system, let's drop our hands lightly onto our belly. With that extra awareness of touch, let's feel the sensation of breathing into our belly. So our hands slide away from one another a little bit. With that exhale, they slide slightly toward each other. Deep belly breaths flowing. Imagine in this belly region, we have some sort of seed that our awareness is starting to touch on. And sometimes this seed is kind of fringed with little bits of sorrow, this past stuff wrapping all around it. It was a seed that when we were first born, it was completely innocent. All it knew was love and trust and hope. As we got older, we got more experience that started to harden around that seed. Started to make it so that, okay, I can love you, but I have to protect myself. And we would start putting conditions on love and hope and trust. And so in our practice today, we'll get into all sorts of goodies with hips especially, hamstrings, low back, shoulders, all sorts of goodies. But imagine, more than anything else, we're trying to touch on this little seed, that hard shell around it. We're trying to soften it so we can return back to that innocent state, like the day that we were born. That state where all we knew was trust. All we knew was love, hope. So this return journey, with this to help lead us on, let's begin already to gently take knees into the chest. Let's begin a nice, easy rocking process. Hips and low back, giving a very soft chance to have light engagement. Starting to release our left leg down to the ground. We'll grab our strap, put our strap around Paula's right foot. Start a slow journey of inviting that right leg into a gentle stretch. So first and foremost, kind of peek a little bit from the side so you can tell the point at which the leg is straight. That means you might have to lower it down a bit. From that straight angle, perhaps you set a couple of loops around your wrists so the wrists aren't having to do quite so much effort to just squeeze and hold onto the strap. It's just kind of looped around it and holding it up. Keeping the leg very straight, we start to incorporate our breath in this way. With our inhales, we remind our quad, especially, to squeeze. That helps to straighten the leg just a little bit more. With our exhales, to see if the leg wants to come any closer toward the torso. So it's a very slow journey. Usually we won't jump inches. It'll be millimeters each time. So inhale, re-invite the leg to straighten a little bit. Exhale, the leg comes a little bit deeper. Notice if your hip is adjusting at all to try to kind of sacrifice in that area, make the stretch easier by sacrificing the hip. If so, plug that hip back in. It's like the femur is just trying to plug and rest into its socket. Let's take a couple more breaths with that same journey. So inhale, try to straighten a little bit more. Exhale, see if there's any space to pull it in. When you found a good place to just rest, just pause for a few beautiful breaths. Going extra slow can be a really gentle, easy, beautiful journey. One more inhale. Exhale, switch the grip of the straps into right hand. Right hand slides as close as it can toward the foot before the leg starts to open out to the right. If you'd like to have left hand grab onto the other end of the loop, the strap, and just kind of support it in a second point, that's perfectly fine, but leg starts to open out in a supported way, out wide to the right. Then leg lifts back up, switch the grip out. So left hand is sliding as close as it can toward foot, right hand slides down. And then take the leg not to a full twist. This is just until you feel the IT band stretch. So outer hip, outer thigh. Usually about a 45-degree angle for me. You could also use your hand strength to pull the toes closer to the back wall if that's what gets you into the stretch. Good. Take another good inhale. Nice exhale. Let's remove the strap for a moment so hands can have a break. Let the knee bend and just take an easy twist so that knee can travel as far over the body as it wants. Nice twist crossing. Another really good inhale. Exhale. As we return the right hip back down, let this right leg swing super wide so that the right foot is planted like a little half frog leg off to that right side. And then 3 times what we're going to do is imagine that this is the coiled up point. With a nice exhale, throw the leg out. Just let it kind of jiggle out far. Good. And then recoil it. Slide it in to the side. And throw it out. Let it have that jiggle and that reverberation. One more. Coil up. With your exhale, send it out. Good. Well, that side's super long. Before we switch, let's take a banana as well. So right ankle crosses over left. Up above head, grab onto right wrist. Scoot the shoulders to the left, scoot the legs to the left. Good banana shape. Side body stretch for the right half. If you want more, push into ankle and wrist connections, but you could take it more passive as well. Another good inhale. Exhale, release. Return your spine to the center if it shifted. And grabbing strap. Set up left foot in the strap. Perhaps already take those loops around the wrist so the wrists are not overworking. And find the straight angle. So tilt it down to the point where it's very easy for the leg to stay straight. Feel yourself already trying to plug the femur, that thigh bone, into its socket rather than kind of press away from it, resisting it. And then from here, let's start those breath cycles. So inhale, we try to remind the knee to be a bit more straight, not locking, but straight. Exhale, pulls it in a little bit deeper. Just a game of millimeters because you have another breath to go after that. Just keep on breathing, keep on inviting the leg in. Slow journey, lots of patience. Take 3 more breaths before we pause for a couple of cycles. Rest, holding it right where it is. Feel if there's resistance away from that left hip. You try to relax back into that socket. Good. From here, let's bring both straps together. First, it's going to go wide, so left hand has to slide up as close as it can to the foot. Right hand is welcome to take the tail if it likes. Support the leg, opening out wide. It's not just open, but it's also pulling up toward back wall direction. One more breath here. Leg lifts back up, switch the grip. Start to let it tilt to about the 45-degree angle. Arm strength could pull toes closer to back wall if that's what invites to the IT band. But feel that outer hip area starting to speak to us. Another good inhale. Nice exhale. Releasing strap, let the knee bend. Continue to twist and seep over as the spine locks. Doesn't have to be much. Notice the breath kind of softening around the belly area. Here, take another really good inhale. Nice exhale. Start to release the hip out. This is the one where the left foot goes all the way up into the side until it's touching the floor. It's in a coiled up position. So take an inhale breath. Exhale, fling that leg out. Let it reverberate and shake. Good. Coil back up, inhale. Exhale, throw it out. One more. Exhale, go. Good. Feel that release in the hips. So taking banana, ankle, left ankle crosses over right. Up above head, grab onto left wrist. And then everything scoots to the right. Same quality as before. If you've pushed against connections, take it again. Nice deep inhale. Beautiful exhale. Release. Take the knees into the chest. And if it feels good for your spine, let's roll like a ball 3 or 4 times. Roll up and balance. Get to roll across the vertebrae. Good. Ultimately coming up to a seated place. Bottoms of feet are together, but the feet nice and far forward. Start to tilt the spine forward, releasing up and over. And at first, let this be about the neck. So let the head just kind of softly go over toward the right shoulder. Over to the left shoulder. And drop the head back down in stillness in the center. Slide the left hand into the left knee. You start to press that hand into the knee. The nose is naturally going to shift over the right side. So slide the right hand open to the side. Notice that low back area speaking to us. Drop the head low through the center as we switch it out, pushing against right knee. Let's tilt this over the left side. Good. Drop right back down through the center. Very nice inhale. Exhale. Rolling up. Pick the knees up. Slide the legs forward. And we're going to hook the strap around balls of both feet. Again, this could be a spot where we could create the loop to make sure the wrists are not having to do too much. But the idea here is what we're trying to do with that strap is pull such that balls of feet are coming toward us. So arms are active, elbows are kind of pulling out to the side. From the balls of feet coming toward us, let's also allow our spine to tilt forward a bit. So if you want to create your grip a bit closer, do another loop. Just kind of inviting it deeper. But it's two actions. We are taking the forward fold, but we're doing that from the calves in the stretch as well. So balls of the foot toward us. Just enjoy a couple of breaths there. Make sure neck isn't adding tension. Nice and loose. More deep breath cycles. Good. Gentle release. Set the strap to the side. Have it closer to the top of the mat so easier later. Swing the legs underneath us. Let's take it to some cat cows. So let your spine roll up and down a few rounds. Ease for that whole spine. One more cycle up and down. Spine up to neutral. Slide the right foot to the back of the mat. Toes, we press into the cat. So I need to press so far my other knee lifts, but you don't have to go that far if you can feel it with the knee on the ground. Your choice. Good. Lowering left knee down if it lifted. Let this right leg circle all the way to the side up to the top of the mat. Shift the hips forward. Good, lower down to an elbow if we want, but no pressure. Just nice, easy opening. Good. Before we switch sides, we're going to take one more stretch to the inner thigh of the back leg. So what we do is we tuck those back toes, lift up the knee, and then rock the heel down. That starts to turn us open toward the back door side. So just rock the hands inward a little bit. Have a nice low lunge, or high lunge with the knee, then a little bit more. The low lunge would be glutes down to heel. Higher would be perfectly fine also if the knee. One more inhale. Exhale, start to pivot forward. As we slide the foot back, you could take a moment with down dog or a flow if anybody wants it. Just some activity, some movement from the body. And setting the right knee down, slide those left toes to the back of the mat. Press until you feel the left calf stretching. right knee down if it lifted. Circle the leg through the side, sit up toward top leg, and sink hips forward, lizard. Option to go down to elbows if needed. If the wrists need a break, you could always make fists for a couple of rounds. It's the side lunge. Tuck the back toes, lift up the knee, rotate into the heel. You're either higher over the knee or lower sitting over the heel. Another beautiful breath flowing in, out. Pivoting forward, step the foot back. Front close, down dog or up flow. We're enjoying the spot that we found until we feel ready to come up to top of that sooner or later. No rush to get there. Just when the body knows it's happy, it's ready to work. So we'll come into a forward fold with red. Both legs be stretching together. Another good inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. And lower hands to heart. Grabbing the strap. We're taking a little shoulder opener, so we're gripping super, super wide. I'll face this way so you can just copy me. But from this really wide grip, we're going to try to keep a little bit of tension in the strap. So the strap's pulled taut. From there, we start to lift up the right hand. So let's tilt this over to that left side. Feel the shoulder open to that direction. With the strap still taut, rotate back behind us. There's a high angle where the shoulders feel open, pulling back behind. Dropping right hand down. Over to the right. And come back in front of us. Good, let's reverse it. Tilt the right hand down, lean over. Circle back behind, pulling back as far as it'll go. And tilt the left hand down. Good, back to the center. Good. And for this next one, I recommend standing all the way up against the wall. But if balance is amazing, you could do it away. So it's up to you. So the idea is you're putting your sitting bones up against the wall and you're just standing slightly in front. So it's like your heels are not trying to push you away from the wall. You're just using that to help you balance and to help you have a little bit more hip awareness. So it's like right now the hips are squared. So bend the right knee, catch the strap around that right foot, maybe even loops around to make the grip easy. Posture is tall, hips are still square, so then start to kick the foot forward. Feel how shoulders and hips can stay square. Good. So one more inhale. A nice exhale. Softly bend, switch it out. So right foot down. We're setting it up in a way that we're aware of hips. So I like to just kind of lift, catch. So I know hips are still square, shoulders are tall. Start to kick forward. Soften out. Okay, turning around to face the wall. Imagine I've got my wall right here, so you're just copying me. You're putting right foot in the little loop, and then you're taking the whole strap over the right shoulder. So left hand will slide up on the wall, staying nice and high. That's your balance point. You can scoot a little away from the wall if you want. And the idea here is opening the shoulder by trying to extend the right arm straight up high. So notice how that starts to connect us with the dancer's pose. If you want both hands on the strap and you have balance for it, you can play with it. Yep, elbows on the wall is fine here, that's safe. Even walking hands closer is fine, but just feel how that opens the shoulders. Good. So one more breath here. Nice inhale. Nice exhale, soft release. And one more side. So catching left foot. Swing it up and over that left shoulder. You're keeping one hand on the wall, that's right hand. Left hand tries to straighten up high. If you can grab both hands to strap, that's fine. Trying to keep both arms up and back as much as possible. That's what opens up the shoulders. Good. So nice inhale. Nice exhale. Soft release. Set the strap over the shoulders. Easy access in just a moment. Back up to top of that. We'll create a sequence. With this sequence, the two poses we just played with, the leg going straight and then the leg coming behind us, will be the end of our sequence. So, if by the end you want to use the wall, you know how to use the wall. We just did it. So, starting up here right at the top, hands to the heart, find a center of balance. Start to float this right back. Just to help us loosen up the ankle, take a couple of ankle rolls, nice and soft. The arms, airplane arms, as we pick back warrior 3. Soft land warrior 1, arms sweep up for a moment. And this is where we'll grab our strap. What we're doing with our strap here, nice wide grip again, is 3 circles up to the sky. Keep the arms locked straight as you travel back. So if you get stuck, slide the hands wider rather than bending elbows. 3 full cycles, up and forward. If it gets easy, scoot closer. 2. Return. 1. Turn. Beautiful. Set the strap down. Sweep arms back up to side. Inhale. 1. Exhale, warrior 2. Extended side angle. Front elbow can rest down. Top arm stretches up and forward. Feel that shoulder getting the chance to open this direction. Taking it up to warrior 2 and then back to reverse warrior. Right hand rests on that back leg. Top hand reaches up and back. Good. Warrior 2. Turning the toes to the long edge. A couple of breaths of wide angle forward. Bend the knees, roll up. Heel toe the feet in once, maybe twice, and then turn the feet to the top of the mat. That sets us up for pyramid pose. That's that good distance of feet. Start to slide down thigh, down shin, kind of like when we are on the ground, we're only going to the point where the legs still can be straight. So if it starts to bend because we're trying to drop down, that's a sign we were going a little too far for our flexibility today. Let's go up to that spot where you can maintain. All right, if you can reach for your strap, scoop it up and then bend the knees, roll up. So we're shifting our weight onto that front left foot. We're going to try to transition directly into the leg extending forward pose. So capture right foot, give you a couple of loops if that helped. Set up the shoulders and the hips tall. You're ready, start to kick forward. You can always kick it lower, that's always fine. But try not to hike up. Hips try to stay square. Feel your body stacked, shoulders right over hips. It's more of a quality of elbows bending rather than leaning back. Good. So now, with balance, try to soften it down as we shift the grip into right hand. Swinging the strap over right. Try to see if one or both hands can extend up behind you. As you kick the foot into the strap, it opens shoulders. You could always walk hands further down if you want to play with that. If balance is iffy, just try to find a balance or use wall. Good work. One more inhale. Nice exhale. Let's roll through standing foot for a moment. It did a lot of work. Ease out that in. Good. Did amazing. One more side. So strap over the neck for that first part. We're standing on our right foot. Left knee starts to float. Do a couple of those ankle rolls again. Warrior 3. Soft land, warrior 1. Grabbing that strap, do the 3 circles all the way up and back. If you keep the elbows locked straight, if you're too tight, just slide wider instead. Turn. 2. Turn. 1. Good. That strap down. Hold the circle up. Let's go open warrior 2. The back toes are turned parallel with the back of the mat. Front knee is bent. We rest that right elbow on the right thigh, extended side angle. Top arm turns up and stretches forward. Warrior 2. Reverse warrior. Go to full warrior 2. Turning the toes to the long edge. Maybe a new arm position as we drop to the wide angle forward fold. So how this is a chance for the feet to relax and ground. We know it's coming up to some balance stuff. So make sure that we're not adding tension here. Then the knees roll up. Heel toe in, preparing for pyramid. So maybe once, maybe twice. Then pivot everything to face to top of mat. Slide down the thigh. Find that point where it's still nice and straight. want your weight to be fully distributed? Yes. Okay. More good breaths, flowing in, out. Grabbing strap if you can, rise up. If you shift onto right foot, try to catch your left. Maybe some loops around the wrist. Get your hips and shoulders are set up perfectly. Then we step forward. One more good breath on this spot. Try to transition with balance as we slide down, bend the knee, look over that left shoulder. Once there, maybe both arms can grab on. Foot, that dancer's pose, maybe walking back closer, maybe not. Pull the shoulders open. Good, one more inhale. Exhale. Amazing. Let's roll through standing foot. Good. Setting the strap down. Head down to some final stretches to wrap us up. So up at the top, let's do the next inhale, circle arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands flat down, travel back. Last option for child pose, down dog or a flow. When you're satisfied here, let's transition toward a seated place. Right foot will come out in front of us. Let's put a step to the side. I recommend using strap again. If hands are not exhausted, though you can do this without. This would be the same focus as earlier, is that little loop around the wrist, the arms pulling out to get the ball of the foot pulled in as much as possible, and then tilting forward from that spot. So that includes hamstring, calf, even a little bit of toning for the arms. Release, switch it out. Left foot has the strap, right foot's tucked in the thigh. Notice how it makes it easy with this grip to keep the spine a bit straighter as you tilt forward. We're to pull the ball of the foot toward us. That includes calf, light and arm muscular engagement, tilting forward. More inhale. Nice exhale. Good. Release the strap. Tuck the left leg in. Right is either coming in front or stacking on top. Whatever allows the sitting to be easy without needing hands at all. And then we're going to place the strap in right hand at the base of neck. Left hand comes from the low back area, sweeps up, tries to walk up the strap as close as it can. Sometimes fingers end up touching, sometimes not. That's okay. You sit up tall first, feel the top elbow pointing up, the bottom elbow pointing down. The top helps to stretch the tricep, the bottom helps to stretch the deltoid. A couple more breaths, blow into the body. If you're completely satisfied right here, you can stay. If you'd like a couple of breaths tilting forward, that increases intensity in the arms. My recommendation, when it starts to get really intense, just drop the hands down, turn it into a hip stretch. So wherever we're ending up, let's take about 3 more breaths. Good. So rising up. Right is now the bottom, steady one. Left is either crossed in front or stepped on top. Left hand takes the strap to the neck area. Right hand is one that sweeps to the low back. Try to climb up the strap as high as you can. Top elbow tries to point up, bottom elbow tries to point down. So those 2 points of the arms stretching out. This could be the perfect spot to stay. Some might tilt forward to increase the arm stretch. Some might just drop down at any point, turning it to a hip stretch. The personal preference. One more breath, let it flow in. Enjoy that exhale. As we rise up, this is our transition toward our Shavasana. So any last seated poses, take them. Any last laying poses that you would like to take, enjoy them. Any things our body still would like, so that ultimately we can find that beautiful restful spot sooner or later. No rush to get there. Time. Still no rush if there's still movements that are being useful for our body. An option as we start to head closer to Shavasana, those that are almost there, an option we have here is to once again take hands to belly. And at least for part of Shavasana, focus on the breath. Try to tune back into that seed. Just feel how the seed is doing right now. Did it feel like it has to still maintain such a hard shell? Or does it feel like the shell softened a little bit? Maybe in the softening, there's little tinges of sorrow and trauma. Those things that have made it so that the seed felt like it had to create the shell. So maybe this Shavasana is a time for us to breathe space into those emotions that we've maybe been pressing down because we didn't know what to do with them. So just breathe and soften as we head into these next few relaxing minutes. So here, let's begin to deepen our inhale, our exhales. Introducing little movements back to fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Stretching out like we're waking up first thing in the morning. That's eventually taking a nice fetal position off to one side. Enjoying a couple of breaths, maybe 2 or 3 more. Eventually coming up to a comfortable seated place. And as our hands come together in front of our heart, one more time we return back to that seat. And we tune in, intuitively checking in to see if it's softened at all during class. That softness helps to return the seed back to how it was the day we were born. We're in a state of trust, hope, love. We recognize it is safe to grow those things. Even though we thought at times we had to put conditions on them. I can only love and it's only safe to do so if this. We recognize we don't have to have that hard shell, just love. And so with this softness to help lead us on, let's allow ourselves to travel on into this marvelous day, winding up this class with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. May we be filled with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.